Hi, how are you all doing? After a strenuous NEET exam, I think you all would have had a lot of strain energy. I'm here to reduce that. In fact, from Gurudev Academy, we had decided to come up with a detailed solution discussion video on NEET paper, and I have picked a paper like 47, code 47. I'm Uttam Kumar Umarji. Presently, I'm NEET coordinator as well as I'm the head of the Department of Physics, and Gurudev Academy is always there with you people. Don't worry. And talking about this year's paper, it was a little bit of finicky kind as well as it was having a lot of fun with respect to questions and answering pattern. If we just talk about, my dear friends, here we can see that the questions were asked in such a manner that you must go ahead and apply, think, rethink, and then reapply. Such varieties of questions were there in this year's NEET exam. So we have to understand from this a valuable lesson that even for NEET exam, we must be thorough with proper calculation. तुक्का मारने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, हमें कैलकुलेशन करना ही पड़ेगा. ये हमने ये नीट एग्ज़ाम से सीखा है. आई होप you all would have learnt that, but let us go ahead and make this particular paper an easy one by solving it. Okay, chalo. In this question, first question, it is given that we should find current passing through the battery in the given circuit. Now you can clearly note that this particular given circuit is a balanced Wheatstone bridge, so hence there will be no current flowing through 6 ohm. So if 6 ohm does not carry current, then definitely we can see that 5 and 3, they are in series, right? So 5 plus 3 becomes 8. 5 plus 3, 8. Then again we can see that this 1 by 3, obviously 1 by 3 ohm, this is going to be in series with this entire branch. So hence I am just starting from this point, 1 by 3 plus, we can say that 8 is 5 plus 3, that is 8, then 2.5 plus 1.5, this happens to be 4, right? So 2.5 plus 1.5, this is going to be 4 here. So hence 8 and 4 will be in parallel here. So accordingly I am writing 8 into 4 by 8 plus 4, right? Then plus again this 1.5 ohm resistance which is here at the top. Now this is going to be in series, again 5.5 will be in series, okay? Then 1 by 3 I have written already in the beginning. So if you just simplify this, we will get the resistance as 10 ohm. This is the equivalent resistance that we are going to get, okay? Then since equivalent resistance is 10 ohm and battery voltage is how much? 5 volt, hence easily I can say V by R, that should give me current. So it happens to be 0.5 ampere. So in this case option 3 is the right choice here. Then moving on to second question. Electric field in a plane electromagnetic wave is given by this much, then expression for the corresponding magnetic field. Now this is electromagnetic wave based question. In this particular question we know that C is equal to E naught by B naught. This is what we know. So from this I can get B naught equal to E naught by C, and E naught is how much here? What is the amplitude? Amplitude of electric field is 60. So 60 by 3 into 10 raised to 8. So it works out to be 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 Tesla. Okay. And if you just talk about the direction of E and B. Now E, vector E and vector B and direction of propagation of wave, they are mutually perpendicular to each other. So hence we can say that By should be equal to what? Magnitude of amplitude is 2 into 10 to the power minus 7. Okay. It should be B naught. Since perpendicularity is there, definitely sine should be written as what? Cos. So hence we are writing the same one. So hence in this case B y should be equal to what? 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 cos of 5x plus 1.5 into 10 raised to 9 t Tesla. Okay. So this is option 3 here. Then moving on to third question now. This is based on open pipe, okay, and closed pipe comparison, and we already know that for open pipe, what is the frequency? Frequency of open pipe, fundamental frequency is V by 2L, right? Similarly for closed pipe, fundamental frequency is V by 4L. So if you just compare these two, we can clearly go ahead and get the answer here. So in case of open pipe, V by 2L is F, frequency F, I'll take. Then in case of closed pipe, V by 4L, but length is what here? Half. So hence it becomes V by 2L again. Is it not same as F here? So hence our answer is option 3 here. Okay. Then moving on to fourth question now. An electron of mass this much kg and charge this much coulomb, okay, moving with speed of c by 100. So c is what? Speed of light in vacuum. Is injected into a magnetic field B of magnitude how much? 9 into 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla, okay, perpendicular to its direction of motion. Look at this, magnetic field is applied perpendicular to the direction of motion of the electron. So hence we wish to apply an uniform electric field vector E together with the magnetic field so that the electron does not deflect from its path. Okay. So if electron does not deflect from its path, then again from electromagnetic theory we know that C is equal to E naught by B naught, right? E by B. Then from this I can say that for speed V I can write it as E by B, right? So therefore I can write E equal to what? V into B, right? And speed of light, the speed of that particular electron is c by 100. So definitely I'll put c as 3 into 10 power 8. So we'll get this as 3 into 10 power 6, right? So then electric field E should be equal to what now? 3 into 10 power 6 into 9 into 10 to the power minus 4. It is given already. Then we will get the value of electric field as 27 volt, 27 into 10 power 2 volt per meter, correct? Then electric field perpendicular to B and magnitude is how much? 27, okay? So hence electric field perpendicular to B and magnitude is 27 into 10 to the power 2 volt per meter. It is option 3 here in this case. Then moving on to fifth question. In a certain camera, a combination of 4 similar lenses. 4 lenses are there. Remember, combination of 4 lenses we are supposed to consider. 2, 3, then 4. Let us consider 4 different lenses placed coaxially like this. Now in this case, what should be the equivalent or net power here? Net power, equivalent focal length should be equal to what? F net. Okay. F net is F by 4. Correct. 1 by F net is 4 by F. Suppose if I write, then it should be what? 1 by F is what? Power. So hence net power should be 4P, and magnification concept we know, magnification of combination of lenses. Suppose M1 is magnification of first lens, M2 is magnification of second lens, then what is the equivalent magnification? M1 into M2, right? So likewise, we have M into M into M into M. 4 times you multiply, you will get M to the power 4. So hence 4P and M to the power 4. So this is option 4. Then moving on to sixth question. A 2 ampere current is flowing through 2 different small circular copper coils having radii in the ratio of 1:2. The ratio of their respective magnetic moments they are asking. See, magnetic dipole moment is nothing but product of current and area, right? And area is directly proportional to what? R square. So hence clearly I can see that M should be directly proportional to R square. Why it is like that? Because current is constant here. Current is constant. So hence, I can very easily extract the ratio out of it. M1 by M2 is R1 by R2 whole square. So clearly it becomes 1:4. So hence, option 2 is the right choice here. Then moving on to 7th question, my dear friends. A constant voltage of 50 volt is maintained here, okay, between the points A and B. A and B points of the circuit as shown in the figure. The current through the branch CD of the circuit they are asking. Now you can see that here equivalent resistance, if you just try to find, 1 and 3 are in parallel, 2 and 4 are in parallel. So hence I am just considering their parallel combination. Then 1 and 3 parallel is what? 3 by 4, correct? Then 4 and 2 parallel, 4 into 2 by 4 plus 2, it should be 4 by 3, right? We'll get 8 by 6. 8 by 6 is 4 by 3 here, which works out to be, if you just extract the LCM, we'll get 25 by 12 ohm. Then, what is the current that is given? I is equal to V by R equivalent here, okay? So, R equivalent is 25 by 12, and what is the potential difference here? 50 volts. So, clearly 50 EMF divided by R equivalent 25 by 12 we get. Then, if you just calculate, we will get 24 ampere. Now, 24 ampere, now what we will do is, we will mark 24 ampere coming into the circuit, is it not? Now, in between 1 and 3, if you just consider parallel combination, I know that I into R is constant. Constant. If I into R is constant, then I can very easily see that I1 R1 equal to I2 R2. Now, ratio of currents and ratio of resistors we should consider. Now, what is ratio of resistors here? R1 by R2 is 1:3. Then I1 by I2 should be what? 3:1. Correct? Okay. So, R1 by R2, it is 1:3 here, 1 by 3. Therefore, I1 by I2, it should be 3:1. 3:1. Okay. So, accordingly, through 1 ohm, how much current we get? 18 ampere. Out of 24, 18 ampere will flow through 1 ohm, and remaining 6 ampere will flow through 3 ohm according to ratio. Then similarly, in between 2 ohm and 4 ohm, in the same manner, if you just observe, what is R1 by R2 here? 2 by 4, that is 1 by 2, right? Then current ratio should be what? Reciprocal of that, 2:1. So clearly, out of 24, 16 ampere should flow through 2 ohm, and remaining 8 ampere should flow through 4 ohm. So very clearly, 18 ampere and 16 ampere, what is the difference here? 2 ampere. So hence, current through branch CD is 2 ampere. Similarly, let us just verify with the lower branch also, 6 ampere and 8 ampere. So clearly, 8 minus 6, I should get how much? 2 ampere current. So it is properly balanced. So definitely our answer in this case is 2 ampere here. Then moving on to 8th question, two gases A and B are filled at same pressure in separate cylinders with movable pistons. Pistons are movable, having radii RA and RB respectively. On supplying an equal amount of heat to both the systems reversibly, okay, under constant pressure, the pistons of gas A and gas B are displaced by 16 centimeter and 9 centimeter respectively. Okay. If the change in their internal energy is the same, then ratio RA by RB should be equal to how much they are asking. See, in this case, we must go ahead and make use of first law of thermodynamics, okay, thermodynamics concept. Delta Q is same here, change in volume is same. So clearly, we can see that when W, then W should remain same. Why? Because delta V is same. So hence P into delta V, work done is same in both the cases. So hence P into delta V1 equal to P into delta V2. What is over here? P and P get cancelled off, correct? P and P get cancelled off. Okay, if you just cancel P and P here, then we are left with delta V1 equal to delta V2. What is volume? Volume is area into length. So hence A1 L1 equal to A2 L2, and area is directly proportional to square of radius. So clearly I can say A is directly proportional to R square. So from this I can see that R1 by R2 square, it should be equal to L2 by L1, or R1 by R2 should be equal to what? Root of L2 by L1. So from this I can easily get the value as 3 by 4. Okay. I hope it is clear to you. So this is the ratio that we are planning to have. Okay. So 3 by 4, let me mark the option 3 here. Then moving on to 9th question here. A container has two chambers of volumes V1 equal to 2 liter, V2 equal to 3 liter, separated by a partition made of thermal insulator. Okay. The chambers contain N1 equal to 5, N2 equal to 4 moles. 5 mole and 4 moles of ideal gas at pressure of how much? P1 1 atmosphere, P2 2 atmosphere. Then when the partition is removed, the mixture attains an equilibrium pressure of. See, this is obviously pressure of the mixture. Pressure of mixture is very simple. We just write pressure P1 into V1 plus P2 into V2 divided by V1 plus V2. That's what, when the partition is removed. So if you just utilize this formula, we'll get the answer as 1.6 atmosphere. So this is option 3 here. Okay, third option. Then 10th question, the radius of Martian orbit. Okay, this year now they have sent us to Mars. Okay, by asking very typical varieties of questions without any oxygen cylinder, is it not? So likewise, radius of Martian orbit around the Sun is about 4 times the radius of the orbit of the Mercury. The Martian year is 687 year, Earth days 687. Then which of the following is length of 1 year on Mercury, they are asking. Okay. Now this question is based on Kepler's law, correct? So we know that square of time period is directly proportional to cube of the radius. So accordingly T becomes equal to what? R to the power 3 by 2. So hence I'll just extract the ratio out of it. T1 by T2 equal to R1 by R2 whole raised to 3 by 2 will get. So let us go ahead and put the values here. What is R1 here? R1 is 4R and R2 is R, and T1 is 687. T2 should be how much? So obviously 4R by R, this happens to be 8 here. 4 to the power 3 by 2 is obviously 8. So clearly we will get 85.875 days. So which is almost close to 88 Earth days. Nearby option happens to be option 2 here. Okay. Then to an AC power supply of 220 volt 50 hertz, resistor of 20 ohm, capacitor of 25 ohm and inductor of 45 ohm are connected in series. Now this is LCR series circuit. Okay. The corresponding current in the circuit and phase angle they are asking. Now in case of LCR series circuit, first step we are supposed to find what? Impedance. What is impedance here? Z is nothing but square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square, or XC minus XL whole square according to the values given for XL and XC. Okay. Then over here as you can see XL is greater than XC, so I am writing XL minus XC. So hence we will get 20 square plus 45 minus 25, that is 20 square, will get 800 under the root, which happens to be 20 root 2, is it not? Then RMS value of current should be VRMS by Z, and we can see that VRMS is how much? 220 here power supply. Okay, so very clearly 220 volt is RMS value. 220 by Z, 20 root 2, that happens to be 11 by root 2. Root 2 if I take as around 1.4, okay, approximately, we'll get it as around 11 into 0.707, we can say 1 by root 2 is 0.707. So hence I am just using like that, okay. 1 by root 2 is 0.707. So 11 into 0.707 I will get. Then IRMS becomes equal to how much? 7.8 ampere. Just multiply this, we will get around 7.8 ampere. Then phase angle. Phase angle, I can very easily understand that phase angle, if from the impedance triangle, we can understand that. Suppose I take this as R, okay, and this as XL minus XC. Then phase angle, this is Z for us. So hence we can clearly understand this is a phase angle here, is it not? Okay. So over here we can understand that it should be XL minus XC by R. Very easily we can get like this. So XL minus XC is how much? 20, and R is how much? 20. So phase angle should be how much? 45 degree. So hence which option matches here? 7.8 ampere and 45 degree. Okay. Then moving on to question number 12 now. A wire of resistance R is cut into 8 equal pieces. Now this is one of the most commonly asked kind of questions. 8 equal pieces. From these pieces 2 equivalent resistances are made by adding 4. So this particular question, it has appeared in almost all of the like materials that you have practiced. Even in our mock exams also we had given this variety of question, okay. So it is quite easy for us. We can easily see that 8 resistors cut into one single wire is cut into 8 equal pieces. Definitely resistance of each part will be how much? R by 8 here, okay. So R by 8. So R by 8, such 4 R by 8s are connected in parallel. Then another 4 again they are connected in parallel, and their combination is connected in series. So hence equivalent resistance in this case should be how much? R by 16, because very easily we can see that R by 8 by 4 is R by 32, R by 32, R by 32, 2 into R by 32, R by 16. So this is option 4 here. 13th question. Output of the given logic implementation is similar to the output of AND or A dash gate. Okay. Now if you just notice the given circuit, okay. Now over here we have input A and then we have input B. From this NOR gate, what I will get? A plus B prime, correct? Similarly, from this NAND gate, the second gate is NAND gate, the lower one. So here we will get A dot B prime, right? A plus B prime, A dot B prime, and both of the outputs are connected to AND gate. So that means the dot of these two I am taking now, okay? Then A plus B whole prime, it can be written as what? A prime dot of B prime, okay? And here we have dot again, dot of A dot B whole prime is what? A prime plus B prime. So clearly we will obtain like this. Then if you just operate them in tandem, so we will get what? A dot A prime dot B, A prime dot B prime dot B prime. So clearly we will get A dot B prime, A dot B prime. So obviously it is A prime dot B prime, which is A plus B whole prime, okay, which is as good as saying which gate? NOR gate, correct, okay. So very easily A prime dot B prime is A plus B whole prime. Then moving on to 14th question. Two identical charged conducting spheres A and B have their centers separated by certain distance. Charge on each sphere is Q and force of repulsion between them is F. Okay. A third identical uncharged conducting sphere is brought in contact with sphere A, they are saying, okay, first, and then with B, and finally removed from both. New force of repulsion between the spheres A and B Okay, and they are saying radii of A and B are negligible compared to the distance of separation, so that calculating force between them, they can be considered as a point charges. Simple approach. Okay, now we already know that spheres, if we consider spheres having small radius, we can clearly assume them to be like a point charge. Okay, so hence we can consider this is sphere A, sphere B, okay, having charge Q and Q. When A is brought in contact with B or B is brought in contact with A, what happens here? We are going to get Q by 2. This charge Q will get equally divided. So Q by 2 will get. Then again, next thing what? Then a third identical uncharged conducting sphere is brought in contact with sphere A. So hence third conductor will take Q by 2 charge. Okay. Then what is the charge on third conducting sphere now? Q by 2. When this Q by 2 is made to contact with B, then here what will be the net charge distribution? Q by 2 plus Q whole divided by Q, whole divided by 2 here. So which is nothing but 3 by 2 by 2, that is 3Q by 4. This is 3Q by 4. So hence the charge that is left on sphere B should be how much? 3Q by 4. Charge left on A is what? Q by 2. So then we apply Coulomb's law. If we apply Coulomb's law, we will get 3 by 8F here. Okay. So this is option 1. Then 15th question, a very typical variety of question on vernier. Okay, consider diameter of spherical object being measured with the help of a vernier calipers. Suppose 10 vernier scale divisions, okay, are equal to, let's say, 9 main scale division. Okay, so main scale division, the least division in the main scale is 0.1, they are saying, and the 0 of vernier scale is at x equal to 0.1 centimeter when the jaws of vernier caliper are closed. Okay, if the main scale reading for diameter is 5 centimeter and the number of coinciding vernier division is how much? 8, then measured diameter after zero error correction is how much they are asking. Okay. Now, in this case, according to given, the least division on main scale is how much? 0.1 centimeter. 0.1 centimeter. This happens to be 1 MSD is 1 millimeter, I can say. Okay. 1 MSD is 1 millimeter, which is 0.1 centimeter. Then least count is how much? Least count should be 0.1 millimeter, which is 0.01 centimeter. Then zero error is how much? 0.1 centimeter here. So hence if you just consider this as zero error, then reading becomes 5 centimeter plus 8 into LC. Okay, so this is 5.08. This is the reading. Then what is the zero error we have? We have 0.1. So hence I should consider minus of 0.1. To that we will get 4.98 centimeter. Okay, so this happens to be the answer. So in our case, option 4 is matching part. Now I have conveyed the solutions from 1 to 15. Next 16 to 30. I am going to invite my colleague, Mr. Anand Pise. So I would like to invite him for discussing the next set of questions. Have a wonderful time. Welcome, sir.
Okay, so we'll continue with the next question, that is the question number 16 here. That is, in some appropriate units, time t, position x, relation of a moving particle is given by, so this particular equation. So then acceleration of the particle is. So we know the, see, if we have a relation between the position and the time, so first we have to find the velocity and then we have to find the acceleration. First we have to differentiate x with respect to the t, okay, and then we have to differentiate v with respect to the t, and then we'll get the acceleration. So here actually it is not a x generally we should get an equation that is x is a function of the t. So but here what we have, that is a t is a function of the x. So first differentiate the t with respect to the x. Okay, so if you just differentiate t with respect to the x, so then we'll get it as 2x plus 1. So that is actually, okay, so dt by dx is a reverse of dx by dt. So therefore we take it as the 1 by v. And if that is the case, v equals to what? V equals to 1 divided by 2x plus 1. Then differentiate that v with respect to the, again the x again. Okay, and if you just simplify that, so you will get the answer as, so minus 2 by 2x plus 1 cube. So here we have to understand that we generally, okay, so a is what? So a equals to dv by, okay, dt. So for this particular case, so what we do is, so it is multiply dx by dx. As a result, so what we can write, so that is okay, dv divided by dx, so multiplied by, okay, dx by dt. And as a result, so what we can write, so dx by dt is a v. So therefore a equals to what? A equals to v multiplied by, okay, dv divided by the dx. So therefore we know the v as a function of the x, differentiate the v with respect to the x and multiply it by the v. Okay, so then we'll get the equation for the acceleration. Okay, so that is, okay, minus 2 by 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1 cube. Okay, next. So next one is a very simple straightforward, okay, question in this particular paper. So which of the following option represent variation of photoelectric current, okay, with the, okay, intensity, okay, like, okay, intensity of the light. So we know that, okay, photoelectric current is directly proportional to the intensity. And if we just look at that, so which one is correct? Photoelectric current is directly proportional to the intensity of the light. So that is the option A is the right answer. Current is directly proportional to the intensity. Okay, so okay, that is A is the right one. So therefore, okay, A only is the right answer in this particular case. Okay, next. A particle of mass m is moving around the origin with a constant force F, pulling it towards the origin. If Bohr model is used to describe its motion, then the radius r of the nth orbit and the particle speed is v in the orbit depends on as what? Okay, how the particle speed depends and also the how the, okay, radius depends. So this one, so what is given here is, so there is a force acting towards the origin. So the, okay, something like this. So we have, okay, this is the origin, okay, force is acting towards the origin. So what's the meaning? So this particular force is actually the centripetal force. So therefore F equals to what? mv square divided by the r. And next what we have to assume here, Bohr model is, okay, used to describe the motion. So that means in a Bohr model we have a one assumption that angular momentum is integral multiples of h by 2 pi. So we take that particular equation, that is mvr is angular momentum and h by 2 pi. And so if we just okay, from this particular equation, so what is the r equals to nh by, okay, 2 pi mv. So we'll get the r and substitute this particular one in the first equation. So that is r, if you just substitute it, so you will get it as v cube divided by n is a constant. So therefore v is, okay, therefore what we can say, v is directly proportional to n to the power 1 by 3. And as a result, and if you just substitute in the above equation, so we can get that r as, so r is directly proportional to n to the power 2 by 3. Okay, so here what we have done, we have got the v here, so just substitute in, okay, in this particular one, so then we'll get the equation for the r, that is n to the power 2 by 3. So r is directly proportional to n to the power 2 by 3 and v is directly proportional to n to the power 1 by 3. So that is the right answer here, that is option 4 is the right answer. Okay, next one. Okay, body of a heavy mass m is suspended by a light string of length L. The bob is given horizontal velocity v0 as shown in the figure. If the string gets slack, okay, so this is the important point, gets slack at some point P, making an angle theta, okay, from the horizontal. Then the ratio of the speed v, so okay, at this particular point we have the speed v, here we have got the, okay, v0, so therefore v by v0 actually we have to, okay, find out. So in this particular case, so this is the one we have to understand. So whenever it becomes slack, so whenever it gets slack, so what happens? So okay, tension becomes equal to 0. The tension becomes equal to the 0. So then what is the equation? So we can write. So here if you just look at this particular point P, so I can write this way. So this is the point P, and at this particular point, so we can have mg that is acting in a downward direction. So vertically downward always, mg is in this direction. So this mg is resolved into the two components. One is along this way, another one is along this way. So this component will be what? So they have given this as an angle as a theta here. If this is an angle theta, so we can take this as the same angle theta here. And as a result, so what I can take here, so this along this direction we have mg, okay, sine theta. Okay, because the particle is in a circular motion, so there will be a centrifugal force that is acting in a, okay, that is away from the center. So therefore I can write, so here we have the centrifugal force, that is mv square divided by the r. What is the radius here? The radius is L, so therefore mv square divided by the L. That means whenever the tension becomes 0, so tension becomes 0 means what? Mg sine theta balances the mv square divided by the L. Okay, so using that, I'll just explain here. So using that condition, what we get? Mg sine theta is mv square by L, we got it. And next what we have to, okay, we have to do here is, so that is the, we have to apply the conservation of, okay, energy. So what is the, okay, and what is the energy at this particular point? So if you just take this as a reference here, potential energy will be 0 and will be having only the kinetic energy half mv square. And as the particle reaches this particular point, it is having some velocity v, so therefore it has a kinetic energy half mv square. And what is the potential energy at this particular point? Okay, potential energy we can do, so we can generally write the potential energy was mgh, right? So we have to find out what is the h here. So this distance we know that it is L, and this distance actually we have to find out. So this is a hypotenuse, you can take it as, okay, you can draw, okay, this as a right angle triangle here. This is the hypotenuse is the L, this is the theta, and what will be this length then? So this will be L sine theta. So what is the total height h here? H is L plus L sine theta, or h is equals to what? L common 1 plus sine theta. So therefore what we have to write? Half mv, okay, I'll just look at the next one. So half mv naught square is the initial energy, initial kinetic energy, that is equals to the final kinetic energy plus final potential energy. And if you just, okay, go on simplifying this, so in this particular case m is there in, okay, in every term we can cancel that, and half also we can cancel, and by introducing, okay, one factor here. So therefore v naught square equals to v square plus, so this 2 goes to this particular side, so therefore it is a 2 times gl, so 2 gl, okay, or we can also look at this as, so mgl. So what is mgl? We can write, so mgl will be what? Mv square divided by the sine theta. So mgl we can replace it as mv square by sine theta. M is already get cancelled, so v square is taken outside, so therefore it will be mgl, we are writing it as v square by sine theta. Okay, and if you just go on simplifying, so we'll get the equation as v by v naught equals to root of sine theta by 2 plus 3 sine theta. So therefore, okay, so therefore, so which one is the right answer? So that is the option 1 is the right answer in this particular case. Okay, fine. Next, a fully wave rectifier circuit with the diodes D1, D2 as shown in the figure, if input supply is given by this. So first we have to remember, whenever we are using a transformer, input wave and output wave, how exactly they vary. Okay, so that is actually, okay, we have mentioned here already. If the primary input is given in this particular form, in the secondary, okay, in the secondary coil we have output something like this, minus, okay, it is exactly the same, okay, with the minus sign, okay, something like this. If we have an input something like this, output will be, okay, output at this particular secondary, it is not the, okay, here we are just looking at this particular point, so here we will be having something like this, so minus of the sine theta. So as a consequence, so now what actually we have to find out here is, so at the given time t is 15 milliseconds, so just substitute this 15 milli in this particular part. So first we have to find the phase, so 100 pi into t, okay, t is what? That is 15 millisecond. We just substitute in this particular case, so you will get the time as, okay, you will get this particular time, so this particular factor as, actually we get it as 3 pi by 2. So what is 3 pi by 2 here? So 3 pi by 2 is okay, it is 270 degree, so sine 2, okay, 270 degree we can write it as a minus 1, minus into minus will be plus, so therefore we get it as the plus 220 volt. If it is plus 220, okay, so then what we can say, here it becomes plus and here it becomes actually the, okay, minus. So therefore D1 is forward bias, so D2 is, okay, reverse bias. So D1 is, okay, forward bias and D2 is reverse bias is the right answer in this particular case. Okay, next. So here we have a one question. So actually this particular relation what they have given, so we cannot solve directly. Okay, so but still we can guess the answer. So I don't know whether we can take it this as a grace or not. Okay, so we'll just wait for the okay. So wait for that particular one. So we'll just look at how to solve this particular one. A balloon is made of material of surface tension. Yes. Okay, its inflation outlet has a small area A. It is filled with the gas density rho, spherical shape of radius r. Okay, and all those things. So they have given one relation, that is, so t is what here? T is the time. Time is directly proportional to s power alpha, a power beta, rho power gamma, r power delta. So s is surface tension, area, density, and the radius. So we know how to apply the dimensional formula. Okay, so by using the dimension, okay, we can easily get the alpha, beta, gamma, delta here. So first we look at, so time, okay, dimensional formula is just the t. Surface tension, we know that it is a force per unit length. Force is m l t power minus 2 divided by length. So ll will get cancelled. We are left with the m t power minus 2 whole power alpha. A is just the area here. So therefore it is l power 2 whole power beta. So rho is a density, mass divided by volume. So that is m divided by l cube. So therefore m l power minus 3 whole power gamma. And then r is just the radius. Okay, it is a distance. So l power delta. And using this, so now we can just compare. Okay, so now what we can do is, so we can just compare the mass. So m power alpha, okay, here it is m power gamma. So therefore total m power alpha plus gamma. So here we don't have the m, so therefore alpha plus gamma equals to 0, first equation. And next one we can compare the time. So time here we have only at this particular point we have the time. So it is 1 equals to minus 2 alpha. So from this one alpha equals to what? Minus 1 by 2. So we get minus 1 by 2. So from this particular equation, just substitute in this first equation, you will get gamma equals to what? So gamma equals to 1 by 2. So we can calculate only alpha and the gamma. We cannot calculate that is the beta and the delta using this particular one, because we have only the 3 equations. We have the variables are the 4. We cannot completely solve this particular one. But still, if you look at for alpha and the gamma in every option, we'll get, so alpha is where we have minus 1 by 2, gamma is 1 by 2, the fourth option. So we'll get it as the right answer here. So but actually we cannot calculate the beta, delta and all those things. So but still, so we don't know whether we get it as a grace or not. So we have to wait for this. Okay, fine. So we'll go to the next one. A microscope has an objective of focal length 2 cm, eyepiece of focal length 4 cm, tube length of 40 centimeter. The distance of the distinct vision is 25 centimeter. Magnification of the microscope is. So generally we give the magnification for 2 points or 2 positions. So one is for a far point, one is for the near point. Okay. So here at which position actually we are finding the magnification. So it is not clearly given. So whenever it is not given, then we just generally we take the far point. If we take that particular one, so formula is what? So L by F naught. Multiplied by d by Fe, and when you substitute this, so we'll get directly as the 125. So but sometime, if in the question, if they have clearly mentioned that it is a near point, only then we have to use that equation, that is L by F naught, 1 plus d by Fe. So that we can use only when we have a near point. So here actually it is not given, so therefore we will be using this particular equation. Okay, fine. Next. 2 identical point masses P and Q suspended from 2 separate massless spring of a spring constant K1 and K2 respectively oscillate vertically if their maximum speeds are the same. So we know whenever a system is under oscillation, we know how to find the equation for the maximum velocity. So maximum velocity is given by what? So maximum velocity is given by amplitude multiplied by the angular velocity. Okay, so if that is the case, so they have given that, so Vp equals to Vq. So maximum velocity is the same. If maximum velocity is the same, so we can straight away we can write this particular equation. So AP omega P equals to AQ omega Q, and we also know that that is omega square or m omega square equals to the K. So therefore omega equals to what? So root of K by m. So we can just substitute here. K is different, but point masses are the same, identical, they have given it. So therefore, root of K1 by m, and here we substitute as root of K2 by m. And when you simplify this, so we get this as the root of K1 by K2. Okay. Next one, a parallel plate capacitor made of circular plates. Okay, I'll just write something. Generally, we write in this way. Okay, is being charged such that surface density on its plates increasing at a constant rate. Okay, with the time, magnetic field arising due to the displacement current is. Okay, in between this, so what is they have clearly given is charge density sigma is continuously increasing. The charge density is increasing, so okay, that means it is in the process of charging. If it is in the process of charging, so what we know already, so that is not in a stable condition or in a stable state. At that particular unstable, or it is a in that particular case, what we can say, there is a displacement current. So they have already mentioned that there is a displacement current. So displacement current is present between the plates, something like this. Okay, from one plate to the other plate, we can write the direction here. And if that is the case, this one, so we can consider something like this. Okay, we have a current in this direction, let us say. If that is the case, okay, we know if we have a straight conductor carrying current, okay, we know that magnetic field lines, okay, magnetic field line inside, magnetic field line outside, so that we know how to calculate that. So using that particular one, okay, outside, what we know, magnetic field outside is inversely proportional to R, magnetic field inside is directly proportional to R. Okay, R is the general distance here. So what we can write, okay, in this particular case, up to this particular point, magnetic field increases. Okay, at a point outside, magnetic field decreases. So that is given by this particular relation. So actually, starting from at the middle point it is 0, and it goes on increases because it is directly proportional to R. And after that, so whenever it crosses this boundary, so then what happens, B is inversely proportional to R. So this particular graph, actually we get it. So we have to look at which option explains this particular one. So clearly we can say that non-zero everywhere with a maximum at the imaginary cylindrical surface connecting the peripheries of the plate. Okay, something like this. Here we have the plate, and here also we have the plate, and if you connect this particular one, okay, something like it is like a cylinder, and we have a current that is in the downward direction, okay, in that particular case. So this option 4 is actually the right answer in this particular one. Okay, next, electric dipole with a dipole moment that is 5 into 10 power minus 6 coulomb meter is aligned with the direction of the uniform electric field. So whenever it is aligned along the direction of the electric field, so we can take that theta equals to 0. The dipole is then rotated through an angle of 60 degree. So we can take as theta 1 here, theta 2 is rotated, so that is rotated to the 60 degree with respect to the field. So then change in the potential energy. Okay, so we know that potential energy, so how do you define it? So it is a minus Pe cos theta. So change is, so minus Pe cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1, or if I just reverse that, so Pe cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So actually we get minus Pe cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. If you just interchange this, so that becomes a plus. Okay, substitute the theta 1, okay, theta 1 is 0, so cos 0 is 1. So cos 60, cos 60 will be, okay, that is 1 by 2, okay, just substitute, so we'll get the answer will be, okay, that is the 1 joule. Okay, so the next one, okay, there are two inclined surfaces of equal length L and the same angle of inclination, that is the 45 degree with the horizontal. One of them is rough, other one is perfectly smooth. Okay, smooth. If a given body takes 2 times as much of the time to slide down on a rough surface than on the smooth surface, okay, then what is the value of the mu k? So if you remember this particular, okay, if you remember this type of a question, so we have a general equation for this. Okay, mu k equals to tan theta 1 minus 1 by n square. If you don't remember, if you don't know this particular one, so I'll just explain in a slightly different way. Okay, that is, okay, so here we'll take this way. So here we have the two inclined planes. So theta is equals to, for both the case it is 45 degree. Okay, theta equals to 45 degree. So now let us take this as this smooth surface. If a body is sliding in a downward direction, what is the acceleration? We can write here. Okay, mg sin theta is acting downward. So for a smooth surface, what we can write? For a smooth surface, acceleration we can take it as it is just the g sin theta. Theta we know it. Okay, so that is 45 degrees. So therefore we can take it as it is a g divided by root 2. And if it is moving on a rough surface, that means what? in a downward direction we have mg sine theta, in the upward direction we have friction. So friction, how do you write it? So that is a mu mg cos theta. So therefore, so acceleration will be what here? So in this rough surface, acceleration will be, so g sine, okay, g we take it as a common, okay, sine theta, okay, minus mu k cos theta. So theta we know it already, that is 45 degree, okay, therefore what we can write? So that is a g, okay, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, so I'll take it outside, so that is 1 minus mu k. Correct. That is acceleration in a rough surface, acceleration in a smooth surface. So both the equations we know it already. So if you know both the equations, so what they have given here is, so the length is the same. In both the case, length of the inclined plane is the same. The length is the same and both are released from the rest. If both are released from the rest, so what we can write? S1 equals to, okay, half A1 t square. Similarly, S2 equals to half A2 t square. Okay, length are the same. So when you equate this, what do you get? When you equate, okay, that is A1 T1 square, that is equals to A2, okay, T2 square. So we know already the A1 and A2, and T1 also we know that. So what is that? So we can take this as, let us say that is the A1, okay, let us take this as the A2 here, okay, and what is the time taken? So in a rough surface, T1 equals to twice the T2. So just use, okay, A1, A2, T1, T2, okay, in this particular one. So you will get the answer. So we quickly do it here. So what is this T1? T1 is 4 times the T2. So therefore I can write A1 equals to A2 divided by the 4. So what is A2? So that is G by root 2 here. So G by root 2. And what is A1? So again it is G by root 2, 1 minus. So 1 minus mu k. Okay, G by root 2 will get cancelled. So that is 1 by 4. So that implies, what is a mu k? So mu k is 1 minus 1 by 4, that is the 3 by 4. So 3 by 4 we can take it as the 0.75. So that is the right answer. I hope it is very clear. Okay, next. So this particular one we can solve in a different ways. So I'll also tell you that. So what are the different ways we can do it? De Broglie wavelength of an electron in a n equals to 2 state of hydrogen atom is close to what? So what is given here is, that is a Bohr radius. What is the meaning of Bohr radius? It is the radius of the first orbit. Okay, so we can solve this in a, okay, one way is what? So de Broglie wavelength is h by mv. So mass we know it, h also we know it. So you have to find the velocity, okay, of the electron that is in the second orbit. So for that we have the general equation, that is 2.18 into 10 power 6 multiplied by z by 1. Z is, okay, it is a hydrogen, z equals to 1, n equals to 2 because it is the second orbit. And we can use this and we can get this particular answer. The one more method is, if electron is revolving, okay, it has a, okay, de Broglie wavelength. So that is given by, so general equation we have something like this, 2 pi r equals to n lambda rn. If it is in the nth orbit, so this is the rn, okay, that is n times the lambda. So what is given here? Okay, it is in the second orbit, so what we can write? So it is r2. What is the equation for r2? So radius is directly proportional to n square, because it is n equals to 2 here. Okay, n equals to 2 here, so what we can write? So r2 equals to 4 times the r1. Okay, then if it is 4 times the r1, we know the equation for the r1 here. So you can write 4 times the r1, so is equals to, n equals to what? 2. So 2 will get cancelled, so that will be 4 pi r1 equals to the lambda. So lambda equals to what? 4 into pi into r1. R1 is 0.052 multiplied by the 4. So that will be almost, it is a, okay, 2 point something. Okay, 2 into pi. Pi is 3.14. So that will be almost, it is a, again 0.67. So one way is using the velocity, you can do it. Other way is by using the de Broglie's explanation of, okay, stable orbit. So, okay, using that also we can do it. Okay, next. The sun rotates around its center once in a 27 days. What will be the period of revolution if the sun were to expand twice its present radius without any external influence? Okay, see why they have given this as, because whenever we have an external influence, so we'll be having a torque. So here they have told that there will be no external influence, so that means the torque will be 0. Okay, torque will be 0, and we also consider that, okay, angular momentum is conserved, and by using that particular conservation, okay, law, we can simplify. If angular momentum is conserved, so what we know, it is a L equals to I omega. So therefore I1 omega 1 equals to I2 omega 2, we can do it. Okay, and what is the I here? So because the sun is a spherical structure, so we can take it as a, okay, it is nearly spherical structure, so therefore we can take it as 2 by 5 mr square. Okay, if the radius is doubled, okay, so then what happens? R becomes 2r. Okay, in this particular case we are just substituting r equals to 2r, omega will be 2 pi by t. Okay, in that particular case 2 by 5 m r square, we can cancel that. So 2 by 5 m r square, we can cancel that. Okay, and 2 pi also we can cancel this. So we are just left with what? 4 by t equals to 1 by 27. So and cross multiply this. Okay, you will get the answer as, okay, 108 days. Okay, next. A physical quantity P is given by one equation. So percentage error in ABCD is mentioned. What is a percentage error in the P? So it is a standard question. And if you just look at the percentage error, okay, equation, so it is 3 times the delta A by A, 2 times the delta B by B, okay, 1 times the delta C by C, half times the delta D by D. So what we do it is just multiply. So first one, it is 1%, so 3 into 1, okay, and next one is, so we'll get the 2 as a factor, 2 into the 3%. So next one is, so the C power 1 is just the 1 into the 2%, and here it is D power 1 by 2 into the 4. Okay, just when you simplify this, we'll get it as the 13%. Okay, it is a comparatively simple one. Okay, so look at the next. The plates of a parallel plate capacitor are separated by distance d. Okay, 2 slabs of different dielectric constant, okay, K1 and K2 with a thickness 3 by 8 d and d by d respectively are inserted in the capacitor. Okay, due to this, capacitance becomes, okay, 2 times larger than when there is nothing between the plates. Nothing means it is a air medium. So whenever we have air medium, okay, so we have to take that part. So now most of the time what we do a mistake is, so we'll just consider that it is inserted, we have the 2 slabs completely inserted, and as a consequence, so we'll simplify. So that's not the case. So you just look at this. So 3 by 8 as a d, so that is not d by d, d by 2. So therefore it is actually lesser than d by 2. So it is actually, they have given 2. So here we have clearly mentioned here, that is K1, K2, and the small piece, so we don't have any medium, so therefore here we take it as that is the air medium. And how to find this particular distance? So you just add these two, 3 by 8 d plus d by 2. And if you add this, you will get it as 7 by 8 times the d. Okay, so what will be this distance? Total distance d minus 7 by 8 times the d, so we will get it as d by 8. So first you have to find this distance. And then what is the effective capacitance here in this particular case? When the distance is divided, distance between the plates is divided in this particular way, actually we consider, okay, it is same as 3 capacitors are in series. So what is the equation for that? So 1 by Cs equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. What is the general equation for a C parallel plate capacitor? F naught A by D if it is air medium, and if it is some other medium, so K F naught A by divided by T. So if you just substitute that, so what do you get? Okay, that is C is, okay, for first one it is, I just write as K1 F naught A, okay, divided by the D, okay, right this way, and here, okay, distance, let us say it is D1, okay, D2 divided by, okay, K2 F naught A, okay, plus that is a D3 divided by, okay, K3 F naught A, so that is equals to 1 by 2C. They have given it. So we know that F naught A by D is the C, we can take it as a common and we can cancel the C, so we are left with the 1 by 2 equals to. Okay, that is simplified here. So 1 by 2 equals to what? Okay, that is here actually we will be having, that is the, so D1 we have to substitute here. D1 is, okay, that is a 3 by 8, okay, 3 by 8 K1, okay, plus 1 by 2 K1, okay, plus 1. Okay, when you simplify this, so actually we get the, okay, this particular form. Actually we are writing in a, we are using a standard equation that is given by this. Straight away we are using this equation, or you can start with this particular way and we actually will get the arrive at the same form. Okay, and when you simplify this, so what is the K1 here they are given? So K1 is 1.25 times the K2. Okay, so here actually it is the K2. Okay, So if that is the case, so K1 is 1.25 means, okay, K1 we can write it as, okay, that is 5 by 4 times the K2. Okay, K1 is 5 by 4 times the K2. Okay, then we can simplify this and we will get the right answer as, so that is 2.66. So whenever you substitute here, so you are not going to suppose, we are not supposed to substitute for K1. So K2 you have to substitute. What is the K2 we will be substituting? That is the 4 by 5. Okay, 4 divided by 5, and then simplify this. So when you substitute this, so what do you get? So here it is 3 by 8 times the K1. So plus 1 by 4 by 5 means it is 8 here, it is a 5. Okay, plus 1, okay, 1 by 2. Shift this, okay, and you can simplify for a K1. So you will get it as 2.66. So that you can do it. Okay, so now we have completed up to the question number 30. So I invite our colleague, so that is Nagaraj sir, to continue this particular session. Thank you.
यस दोस्तों, तो हम अभी डिस्कस कर रहे हैं द नीट 2025 का क्वेश्चन पेपर, जिसमें ऑलरेडी हमारे कलीगों ने 30 क्वेश्चंस को कंप्लीट किया है. मैं 31 से 45 तक कंप्लीट करूंगा. तो 31st क्वेश्चन क्या है अभी हम देखेंगे. 31st क्वेश्चन जो है, A ball of mass 0.5 kg is dropped from the height of 40 meter. The ball hits the ground and rises height of 10 meter again. The impulse imparted to the ball during its collision with the ground. तो यहाँ पे एक बॉल है, उन्होंने उसका मास है 0.5 kg, is dropped. Dropped का मतलब होता है उसका जो इनिशियल वेलोसिटी होता है वो है 0. तो वो ग्राउंड को जाके लगेगा, हिट होगा. तो हमें पता है फ्रीली फॉलिंग बॉडी विच हिट्स द ग्राउंड, उसका वेलोसिटी क्या होता है? अंडर रूट ऑफ 2gh, राइट. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग जो पहली बार वो सरफेस को गिरेगा तो उसका इनिशियल वेलोसिटी हम लोग लेंगे vi, ठीक है, vi. तो उसके गिरने के बाद वहां पे थोड़ा इंपल्स होगा और उसका थोड़ा वेलोसिटी लॉस होगा. बाद में वो ऊपर जाएगा, फिर वापस वो ऊपर जाएगा. कितना डिस्टेंस जाएगा? 10 मीटर. तो वहां से वापस आने के बाद जो with which velocity it hits the ground, that is vf, फाइनल वेलोसिटी से. तो यहाँ पे डायरेक्शन अपोजिट लेना पड़ेगा. तो मैं यहाँ पे थोड़ा आपको डायग्राम में उसका एलाबोरेट कर रहा हूँ. जो ये 0.5 kg का जो मास था वो नीचे गिर रहा है, उसका वेलोसिटी vi होगा, फिर वापस यहाँ ऊपर जाएगा 10 मीटर के ऊपर, तो वहां जाके रुकेगा. तो यहाँ पे वेलोसिटी जो है vf लेंगे हम लोग, 10 मीटर हाइट, यहाँ पे 40 मीटर हाइट. तो जो इंपल्स का है वो इंपल्स क्या होता है? चेंज इन मोमेंटम. तो चेंज इन मोमेंटम क्या होता है? मास इनटू वेलोसिटी. सो वेलोसिटी चेंज इन क्या है? यहाँ पे वेलोसिटी जो है नीचे गिर रहा है वो vi है, और वापस ऊपर जा रहा है वो माइनस ऑफ माइनस vf है. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग लिख सकते हैं m इंटू vi प्लस vf. और आपको vi और vf का फॉर्मूला पता होना चाहिए, ठीक है, वो उन्होंने यहाँ पे दिया है. आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे vi मैंने क्या लिखा है? vi इज इक्वल टू रूट ऑफ 2gi एंड vf इज इक्वल टू रूट 2gh. तो इंपल्स का फॉर्मूला जो आई होता है डेल्टा p इज इक्वल टू m इंटू अंडर रूट ऑफ 2gi प्लस अंडर रूट ऑफ 2gh, ठीक है. तो इनको अभी हम पे सब्स्टिट्यूट करने के बाद आपका जो आंसर आएगा वह है 21 न्यूटन सेकेंड, ठीक है बच्चों. ये सब्स्टिट्यूट कर, पहले हमें कॉन्सेप्ट ये समझ में आना चाहिए, बाद में अपने आप ये सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. यस, तो आपका आंसर कौन सा है? 21 न्यूटन सेकेंड, वो होता है ऑप्शन नंबर 2. नेक्स्ट 32. There are two cities X and Y are connected by a regular bus service with a bus leaving in either direction every t time. यहाँ पे बस सर्विस जो दिया गया है बिटवीन टू सिटीज, वो एक X सिटी है और एक Y सिटी है. इन दोनों के बीच में बस सर्विस होता है, ठीक है. गर्ल ड्राइविंग स्कूटी विद स्पीड ऑफ 60 किलोमीटर. एक गर्ल है वो 60 किलोमीटर पर आवर के हिसाब से एक स्कूटी चला रही है, ठीक है. जो वो है गर्ल है, यहाँ पे दिखाया गया है वो गर्ल का वेलोसिटी है. वेलोसिटी ऑफ द गर्ल इज 60 किलोमीटर पर आवर. तो एक्स सिटी से बस क्या जाएगा? वेलोसिटी ऑफ द वीबी, और वो वाई को टच करके फिर वापस आएगा. तो यहाँ पे दिया गया है कि स्पीड ऑफ 60 किलोमीटर और इन द डायरेक्शन एक्स टू वाई. नोटिस दैट बस गोज पास्ट हर एवरी 30 मिनट्स इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ हर मोशन एंड एवरी 10 मिनट्स इन द अपोजिट डायरेक्शन. पहले 30 मिनट में उसके डायरेक्शन में जाएगा और बाद में 10 मिनट्स के बाद वो वापस आएगा अपोजिट के हिसाब से. देन choose the correct option for the time period of the bus service and the speed. सो बस सर्विस का जो टाइम पीरियड है उसका कितना है, ये समझ में आना चाहिए हमें। तो जो टोटल डिस्टेंस है यहाँ पे, यहाँ से यहाँ तक हम लेंगे d, जो होता है 60 किलोमीटर, ठीक है। देन क्योंकि गर्ल जो चला रही है वो स्कूटी 60 किलोमीटर पर आवर है, वो टोटल डिस्टेंस जो है, टोटल डिस्टेंस वीबी माइनस वीजी, वीबी माइनस वीजी ही क्यों लिया, आपको पता है रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी, अगर दो बॉडी सेम डायरेक्शन पे जा रहे हैं उनका रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी क्या होगा, यस मिनिमम होगा। तो यहाँ पे वीबी माइनस वीजी, क्यों वीबी माइनस वीजी, सी वीबी इज ग्रेटर देन वीजी, हो सकता है क्योंकि वो बस जो है गर्ल को ओवरटेक कर रहा है, तो इस हिसाब से बस का वेलोसिटी ज्यादा होगा, तो हम यहाँ पे वीबी माइनस वीजी लिखेंगे, जिसका टाइम पीरियड कितना है 30 है, ठीक है। देन सेम डिस्टेंस d डिवाइडेड बाय वीबी प्लस वीजी, वीबी प्लस का मतलब क्या होता है, वो अपोजिट आएगा, जब वो अपोजिट आएगा तो स्पीड होगा एडिशन, सेम डायरेक्शन पे होगे तो दोनों का स्पीड डिफरेंस आएगा, अपोजिट होगा तो स्पीड ऐड हो जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे वीबी प्लस वीजी, जो टाइम दिया गया है क्या है 10 सेकेंड, ठीक है 10 मिनट्स। तो हम लोग यहाँ पे इक्वेशन दोनों को डिवाइड करेंगे, इन दोनों को डिवाइड करेंगे, जैसे कि d बाय वीबी माइनस वीजी डिवाइडेड बाय डी वीबी प्लस वीजी विच इज इक्वल टू 30 बाय 1। तो यहाँ डी डी कैंसिल होगा, ये न्यूमरेटर पे आएगा, तो आपका फॉर्मूला क्या बन जाएगा, वीबी प्लस वीजी डिवाइडेड बाय वीबी माइनस वीजी, तो ये क्या हुआ विच इज 3/1। तो इसको सॉल्व करने के बाद आपको मिलेगा वीबी बाई वीजी इज इक्वल टू 2, वीबी बाई वीजी इज इक्वल टू 2, देन वीबी इज इक्वल टू 2 टाइम्स ऑफ वीबी इज इक्वल टू 2 टाइम्स ऑफ वीजी। तो वेलोसिटी ऑफ द बस क्या है, वेलोसिटी ऑफ द बस होता है 120 किलोमीटर, ये इन चारों ऑप्शन में देख सकते हैं आप, 120 किलोमीटर जो है वो ये है एक ही ऑप्शन, दूसरा ये कैलकुलेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है आपको, क्योंकि ये 120 किलोमीटर इन चारों ऑप्शन में सिर्फ एक ही है, तो ऑप्शन यही हो सकता है 1, ठीक है दोस्तों, यस। नेक्स्ट 33 क्वेश्चन, एन ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर ऑफ वॉल्यूम 30 लीटर, कितना है 30 लीटर, हैज 18.20 मोल्स ऑफ ऑक्सीजन है उसमें, देन आफ्टर सम ऑक्सीजन इज विथड्रॉन फ्रॉम दैट सिलेंडर, इट्स गेज प्रेशर ड्रॉप्स टू 11, इस गेज प्रेशर कहां से कहां डिक्रीज हुआ, ड्रॉप्स टू 11 एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर एट टेम्परेचर 27 डिग्री सेल्सियस, द मास ऑफ द ऑक्सीजन विथड्रॉन फ्रॉम द सिलेंडर इज नियरली इक्वल टू, आपको कैलकुलेट करना है, जिसके लिए हम लोग यहाँ आइडियल गैस इक्वेशन लेंगे जो होता है पीवी इक्वल टू आरटी, और हमें पता है पीवी इक्वल टू एनआरटी। तो यहाँ पे हम लोग P1V1 इक्वल टू N1 RT1 है हमारे पास, तो हमें P2V2 N2 RT2 करना है। तो P2 क्या है यहाँ पे 11 एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर, 11 एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर क्या होता है 11 इंटू 1.1 जो होता है 12 इंटू 1 2, राइट। सो सॉरी 11 इंटू 11 नहीं 12, यहाँ से हमें 11 ही लेना है क्योंकि यहाँ पे 11 दिया है, तो 11 इंटू 1.1 1.01 इंटू 10⁵ पास्कल जो होता है ये वैल्यू, देन V2 जो है 30 लीटर, 30 लीटर क्या होता है 30 इंटू 10⁻³ मीटर क्यूब, देन R वैल्यू उन्होंने दिया है जो है 100/12, एंड T2 जितना 27 डिग्री सेल्सियस है आप उसको केल्विन में कन्वर्ट करोगे तो T2 इक्वल टू 300 केल्विन हो जाएगा। तो हमें यहाँ पे इस इक्वेशन से P2V2 इक्वल टू N2 RT2, यहाँ से हम N2 कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं, जो N2 होता है P2V2 बाय R इंटू T2। अगर ये सब वैल्यू आप यहाँ पे सब्स्टिट्यूट करोगे तो आपका वैल्यू जो आएगा 13.3, राइट। तो जितना चेंज हुआ कितना, जो इनिशियल था 18.20, अभी चेंज होने के बाद आ रहा है 13.3, कितना चेंज हुआ जो होता है 5.2 होता है। देन द मास with withdrawn is that is change in mass into molecular mass, that is delta n into 32 जो आएगा आपका 166 into 10⁻³ आएगा, तो आपका आंसर जो है 0.166 kg। तो नियरेस्ट आंसर कौन सा है यहाँ पे, द नियरेस्ट आंसर इज 0.156 जो आता है, तो ऑप्शन नंबर 1 होगा, ठीक है। देन 34th क्वेश्चन देखिए, AB is part of an electrical circuit, A and B are क्या है part of an electrical circuit, the potential difference VA minus VB at the initial and instant when current is 2 ampere, आप उन्होंने करंट दिया है यहाँ पे 2 एम्पियर करके, एंड इंक्रीजिंग एट द रेट ऑफ 1 एम्पियर पर सेकेंड, इंक्रीज इन द रेट ऑफ, यानी कि di/dt भी दिया उन्होंने। तो यहाँ पे जो करंट है I इज इक्वल टू 2 एम्पियर है एंड di/dt जो है वो है 1 एम्पियर पर सेकेंड, जो ये di/dt है, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे सर्किट पे आप देख सकते हो जो VL है, VL क्या होता है हमें पता है, फॉर्मूला सेल्फ इंडक्टेंस का फॉर्मूला, एंड पोटेंशियल इन इंडक्टर इज इक्वल टू L इंटू di/dt, L इंटू di/dt होता है। तो आपको ये फॉर्मूला लगाने के बाद आपको क्या मिलेगा कि L क्या है, L इंडक्टर जो है 1 हेनरी है, इंटू di/dt कितना है 1 है, तो ये क्या हो VL 1 वोल्ट हुआ। तो इस अक्रॉस A एंड B हम लोग क्या लगाएंगे, KVL, किरचॉफ्स वोल्टेज लॉ। किरचॉफ्स वोल्टेज लॉ आपको पता होता है कि नेट पोटेंशियल अक्रॉस द जंक्शन इज जीरो, ऐसे सम ऑफ द ऑल द पोटेंशियल डिफरेंसेस अक्रॉस ऑल द जंक्शन इज जीरो, ऐसे कुछ KVL होता है। तो वहां पे हम लोग KVL लगाएंगे तो पोटेंशियल VA यहाँ पे है, VA यहाँ पे माइनस along the direction of current with a negative sign माइनस 1 वोल्ट जो है अक्रॉस द इंडक्टर होता है, और यहाँ पे एक बैटरी है पॉजिटिव टू नेगेटिव जो होता है -5, और यहाँ पे एक रेजिस्टर में पोटेंशियल है जो 4 वोल्ट है, -4 वोल्ट इज इक्वल टू VB होगा। तो हम लोग यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे, तो VA एज इट इज लिखेंगे, माइनस VB यहाँ पे करेंगे, और ये जो टोटल है इधर ले लो ये, सो 5 प्लस 4 9, 9 प्लस 1 10 वोल्ट हो जाएगा। तो आपका आंसर जो है 10 वोल्ट हो जाएगा, ये आंसर है, ठीक है। यस, नेक्स्ट 35th क्वेश्चन। यहाँ पे आपको ये जो क्वेश्चन है ये ऑसिलेशंस के चैप्टर का है। हमें पता है टोटल एनर्जी, पोटेंशियल एनर्जी, काइनेटिक एनर्जी, ऐसे होता है। तो फॉर्मूला है हमारे पास, जो टोटल एनर्जी का फॉर्मूला है वो हाफ KA², यानी कि हाफ यहाँ पे K के बदले में क्या लिख सकता हूं मैं, ओमेगा² इंटू M इंटू A²। वो कैसे आया, यहाँ से आया, जैसे कि आप ओमेगा इज इक्वल टू अंडर रूट ऑफ K/M है हमारे पास, तो ओमेगा² क्या होगा K/M। तो यहाँ पे K के बदले में क्या लिखा मैंने, ओमेगा² इंटू M। तो यहाँ पे देखिए, ध्यान दीजिए आप, अगर मास कम हो रहा है, उन्होंने जो बोला है यहाँ पे, जो एक स्प्रिंग है, उस स्प्रिंग को एक थैले में सैंड भर दिया है, ये है सैंड बैग, ठीक है। अगर ये सैंड में यहां पे छेद कर दिया तो ये सैंड नीचे आएगा और इसका जो सेंटर ऑफ मास होगा वो घटते जाएगा, यानी कि इधर मास घट रहा है तो इसका जो एम्पलीट्यूड था और ओमेगा जो था वो वेरी होगा। आप यहां पे देख सकते हो, अगर मास घटेगा तो ये ओमेगा क्या होगा, इंक्रीज होगा, मास घटेगा तो ओमेगा इंक्रीज होगा। अगर ओमेगा इंक्रीज होगा तो टोटल एनर्जी क्या होगा, इंक्रीज होगा। तो फर्स्ट जो ओमेगा के हिसाब से इंक्रीज कौन सा है, यहाँ पे 2 है, 3 है, 1 2 3 1 2 है, 1 2 3, ये तीनों इंक्रीजिंग है। अभी मुझे एम्पलीट्यूड देखना है, ओमेगा और एम्पलीट्यूड देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे ओमेगा और एम्पलीट्यूड। अगर ओमेगा इंक्रीज होगा तो एम्पलीट्यूड क्या होगा, डिक्रीज होगा ऑटोमेटिकली। इसका जो एम्पलीट्यूड है, अगर ओमेगा इंक्रीज हुआ, मास डिक्रीज हुआ, तो मास डिक्रीज होने से एम्पलीट्यूड डिक्रीज होगा। तो यहाँ पे एम्पलीट्यूड डिक्रीज कहां पे हो रहा है, ये दोनों सही पे कौन सा इक्वेशन है, तो आपका जो आंसर है वो है थर्ड ऑप्शन, ठीक है बच्चों। यस, नेक्स्ट 36th क्वेश्चन। यहाँ पे करंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का कॉन्सेप्ट है और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड का कॉन्सेप्ट है और बोर्स एटॉमिक मॉडल का भी कॉन्सेप्ट आ सकता है। यहाँ पे तीनों मिला के दिया गया है। मॉडल ऑफ क्वांटाइज्ड मोशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन इन द यूनिफॉर्म मैग्नेटिक फील्ड बी इज दैट ऑफ द फ्लक्स पासिंग थ्रू द ऑर्बिट इन द इलेक्ट्रॉन। उन्होंने फ्लक्स दे दिया है, फ्लक्स ऑलरेडी उन्होंने दे दिया है। फ्लक्स क्या है, NH/E। हमें पता है फ्लक्स का फॉर्मूला क्या है बच्चों, यस बोलिए। यस, फ्लक्स का फॉर्मूला होता है B इंटू A, यानी कि जैसे कि इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स E इंटू A, मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स B इंटू A, तो ये B इंटू A हो गया आपका, ठीक है। देन हमें पता है B इंटू A, यहां से हम लोग A क्या लिख सकते हैं, A दैट इज NH/EB, A इज इक्वल टू NH/EB। और मैग्नेटिक डाइपोल मोमेंट क्या होता है, मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट इज M, कैपिटल M, विच इज इक्वल टू, स्मॉल m नहीं है, कैपिटल M है। मैग्नेटिक मोमेंटम इज इक्वल टू I इंटू A, और I क्या होता है, करंट I इज इक्वल टू क्यू बाई टी, सही है। तो ये ई बाई टी इंटू ई क्या है, ई है एन एच बाई ई बी। और आपका टाइम पीरियड ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन रिवॉल्विंग इन ऑर्बिट वो पता होता है, मूविंग चार्जेस एंड मैग्नेटिज्म में ये फॉर्मूला है आपको, ई बाय 2πm इंटू ई बी। ऑलरेडी यहां पे क्या है, एन एच बाय ई बी, ठीक है। तो यहां पे n इक्वल टू 1 कर दो, तो बच्चा क्या, मैग्नेटिक मोमेंटम इज इक्वल टू ई बी कैंसिल हो गया, n इज इक्वल टू 1 हो गया, एच ई बाय 2πm। तो आपका आंसर कहां पे, यहां पे यस एच ई बाय 2πm। तो ऑप्शन नंबर 3 हो गया, ऑप्शन नंबर 3 है, ठीक है, ठीक है बच्चों, यस डन। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, ये तो ग्रेविटेशन के ऊपर है, यहां पे देख सकते हो आप, ए बॉडी इज वेट 48 न्यूटन ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ अर्थ। अर्थ सरफेस के ऊपर कितना वेट कर रहा है, वेट ऑन अर्थ इज 48 न्यूटन। द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स एक्सपीरियंस्ड बाय द बॉडी ड्यू टू द अर्थ एट हाइट इक्वल टू 1/3 ऑफ रेडियस। अगर वही जो वेट 48 था सरफेस के ऊपर, उसको 1/3 ऑफ रेडियस पे ऊपर लेके गए तो उस बॉडी का वेट क्या होगा, डेफिनेटली कम होगा। तो यहाँ पे सारे के सारे ऑप्शन जो है वो कम ही है, तो उसमें कौन सा करेक्ट है आपको देखना है। तो उसके लिए हमारे पास जो फॉर्मूला है G इक्वल टू कैपिटल GM अपॉन R प्लस H होल स्क्वायर, और यहाँ पे जो H है वो होता है R/3। तो इस H में R/3 लगा दो, तो आपका जो आंसर आ गया 9/16 टाइम्स ऑफ G0। तो ये W डैश क्या होगा, W डैश होगा 9/16 टाइम्स ऑफ वेट ऑन अर्थ। तो 9/16 इंटू नथिंग बट 48, तो अगर आप इसको सॉल्व करोगे तो आपको आंसर आएगा 27 न्यूटन, ठीक है। तो बच्चों ये आंसर आ गया आपका 27 न्यूटन आ जाएगा। चलो अभी नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं। कंसिडर वाटर टैंक शोन इन द फिगर, इट हैज एन one wall at x equal to L and can be taken to very wide in the z direction when filled with the liquid surface tension and density rho. The liquid surface makes an angle theta which is less than 1 degree with the x axis, and the height of the surface of the equation for y of x is, right? So they are asking y of x. तो यहाँ पे इसको सॉल्व करने के लिए यहाँ पे देखिए ऐसे सॉल्यूशन कर सकते हैं हम। हाँ, तो या इस सरफेस के ऊपर सरफेस टेंशन जो होगा वहां पे नीचे पे होगा, और यहाँ पे जो सरफेस टेंशन होगा ऊपर होगा, और यहाँ जो एंगल है वो थीटा है, और यहाँ जो एंगल आएगा थीटा प्लस डी थीटा, क्योंकि यहाँ एंगल स्मॉलर होता है और एंगल यहाँ पे बड़ा होता है। तो यहाँ पे उन्होंने जो इक्वेशन लिखा है सरफेस टेंशन एस एल थीटा प्लस डी थीटा, जो यहाँ पे जो टेंशन हो रहा है विच मस्ट बी इक्वल टू, यहाँ पे जो टेंशन आ रहा है वो क्या है, एस एल इंटू थीटा प्लस अलॉन्ग विद दैट एम जी, यानी कि फोर्स स्मॉल मास इंटू एक्सेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, जो नीचे आ रहा है यहाँ पे जो नीचे आ रहा है, ठीक है। तो ये दोनों मिला के यहाँ पे सरफेस टेंशन इक्वल होना चाहिए, यानी कि हम लोग यहाँ पे बता सकते हैं इक्विलिब्रियम फोर्स, और फोर्सेस आ रही है इक्विलिब्रियम करके मान सकते हैं। तो इस हिसाब से हमें जो आंसर आ रहा है यहाँ पे, और ये उन्होंने इक्वेशन भी यहाँ पे दिया है, आप यहाँ पे दे सकते हो थीटा एक्स इज इक्वल टू साइन थीटा एक्स और टैन थीटा एक्स। जो टैन साइन थीटा एक्स और टैन थीटा एक्स जो स्मॉल एंगल के लिए थीटा होता है, तो उस फॉर्मूला को यूज करके हम लिख सकते हैं यहाँ पे एस एल इंटू थीटा प्लस एस एल इंटू डी थीटा, ठीक है। और यहाँ पे जो है एस एल थीटा प्लस डी एम इंटू जी, तो यहाँ पे ये कैंसिल हो गया, एस एल इंटू डी थीटा इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा एम। मास को भी डेंसिटी भी कन्वर्ट करो, तो वो डेंसिटी में कन्वर्ट करोगे आप रो वाई डेल्टा एक्स इंटू एल इंटू जी, रो वाई डेल्टा एक्स इंटू एल इंटू जी हो जाएगा। तो आपको ये एल एल कैंसिल हो जाएगा यहाँ पे, और जो बचा है यहाँ पे डी थीटा, और यहाँ पे लेके आओ डी एक्स, डी थीटा यहीं पे रहना दो, डी एक्स को यहाँ लेके आओ, ये रो वाई जी अपॉन यस हो जाएगा, ठीक है। और उन्होंने यहाँ पे दिया है इक्वेशन पे, आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे थीटा एक्स क्या हो सकता है, थीटा एक्स जो होता है वो होता है डी वाई बाई डी एक्स, ठीक है। तो हम उसको यूज करके हम डी थीटा का यहाँ पे क्या कर सकते हैं, वो ये होगा डी स्क्वायर वाई अपॉन डी एक्स स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू रो वाई जी अपॉन यस, रो वाई जी अपॉन यस, ठीक है। तो ऐसे आपको सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। तो आपका आंसर कौन सा हो गया? ऑप्शन नंबर 3 हो गया, ठीक है। ये थोड़ा मुश्किल सवाल था, यानी कि वो जो इस बार फिजिक्स क्वेश्चन पेपर जो आया है वो थोड़ा हटके है, इसीलिए प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा आपका, ठीक है। फिजिक्स तो ऐसे ही होता ही है, फिर भी उन्होंने ज्यादा ही डिफिकल्ट कर दिया इस बार, ठीक है। तो क्वेश्चन नंबर 39, यहाँ पे द इंटेंसिटी ऑफ ट्रांसमिटेड लाइट व्हेन पोलराइड शीट प्लेस्ड बिटवीन टू क्रॉस्ड पोलराइज इज 22.5 डिग्री। बिटवीन टू पोलराइड कितना है? 22.5, तो वो दोनों के बीच में जो एंगल होगा वो होता है 45 डिग्री। तो इसलिए उन्होंने यहाँ पे थीटा इक्वल टू 45 डिग्री लिया। सो इंटेंसिटी आफ्टर पोलराइड P1 के बाद कितना होता है? I0 होता है। बाद में इंटेंसिटी आफ्टर पोलराइड P2 I0 cos स्क्वायर थीटा बाई 2 होता है। और इंटेंसिटी आफ्टर पोलराइड P3 सो I0 cos स्क्वायर थीटा बाई 2, और 90 माइनस थीटा क्या होता है? 90 माइनस थीटा इज कॉस थीटा, साइन थीटा, सॉरी, यहाँ पे कॉस ऑलरेडी है तो हमें साइन आएगा, तो इसलिए I0 cos स्क्वायर थीटा बाई 2 इंटू साइन स्क्वायर थीटा बाई 2 हो जाएगा। ये साइन कहां से आ गया? 90 माइनस थीटा, cos 90 माइनस थीटा इज साइन, सो ऐसा। तो I0 बाई 4 इंटू 4 cos स्क्वायर थीटा बाई 2 साइन स्क्वायर थीटा बाई 2, ठीक है। देन I0 बाई 4 इंटू साइन स्क्वायर थीटा क्या होता है? 45, अगेन 1 बाई रूट 2 होल स्क्वायर, साइन स्क्वायर 45 इक्वल टू कॉस स्क्वायर 45 जो होता है 1 बाय 2। एक्चुअली साइन 45 इक्वल टू कॉस 45 जो होता है 1 बाय रूट 2, उसका स्क्वायर करोगे तो 1 बाय 2 आ जाएगा। सो 1 बाय 2 इंटू 1 बाय 2 इज 1 बाय 4, सो सॉरी यार 1 बाय 2 आएगा, तो 1 बाय 2 I0 बाय 4 इंटू 2 इज ये 1 बाय I0 बाय 8 आएगा। तो आपका आंसर जो है I0 बाय 8 आएगा। देन क्वेश्चन नंबर 40, ये जो क्वेश्चन था ड्यूअल नेचर ऑफ रेडिएशन एंड मैटर से आएगा। यहाँ पे वेवलेंथ ऑफ फोटोन एंड वेवलेंथ ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है, ये क्वेश्चन जो रेगुलरली हम वो लोग पूछते थे वो था लैम्डा ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन अपॉन लैम्डा ऑफ फोटोन पूछता था, लेकिन इस बार उसको उल्टा कर दिया बस, तो आंसर हमें आपका रिवर्स आ जाएगा। तो लैम्डा ऑफ फोटोन जो है hc बाई ई एंड लैम्डा ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है h बाई अंडर रूट ऑफ 2me। तो अगर इसको रेशियो लेंगे आप तो c इंटू अंडर रूट ऑफ 2m बाई ई। आप देख सकते हैं जो बुक आपने रेफरेंस किया होगा ना, तो आपको जो नोट्स में दिया गया होगा, मटेरियल में दिया गया होगा, वो जो था लैम्डा ई बाई लैम्डा पी था, और उन्होंने यहाँ पे उल्टा कर दिया बस। तो आंसर आपका कौन सा आएगा? ये आएगा आपका आंसर, फोर्थ ऑप्शन, ठीक है। यस, नेक्स्ट 41th क्वेश्चन, ये अनपोलराइज्ड लाइट बीम ट्रैवलिंग इन एयर इंसिडेंट ऑन मीडियम ऑफ रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स 1.73, रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स कितना है? 1.73 एट ब्रीस्टर एंगल। देन तो हमारे पास ब्रीस्टर फॉर्मूला है। ब्रीस्टर एंगल का फॉर्मूला जो है क्या है? ब्रीस्टर एंगल का जो फॉर्मूला है म्यू इज इक्वल टू टैन आईपी, पोलराइजिंग एंगल। आईपी क्या होता है यहाँ पे? पोलराइजिंग एंगल होता है, और म्यू जो होता है रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स। यहाँ पे रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स जो दिया गया है 1.73 है, विच इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली √3। तो आप tan IP कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे। तो IP क्या हो गया? tan इनवर्स ऑफ √3, tan इनवर्स ऑफ √3 इज इक्वल टू IP, जो हो गया आपका IP इज इक्वल टू 60 डिग्री। पहली बात जो है अनपोलराइज्ड लाइट ट्रैवलिंग इन इंसिडेंट और मीडियम, तो ये वहां से कंप्लीटली ट्रांसफर होगा। रिफ्लेक्टेड लाइट इज कंप्लीटली पोलराइज्ड एंड एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन इज 60 डिग्री, ठीक है। तो ये आपका ऑप्शन आएगा सेकेंड ऑप्शन, ठीक है। देन ये क्वेश्चन थोड़ा समझने वाला है, टाइम कंज्यूम करेगा। यूनिफॉर्म रॉड जो है 20 kg एंड लेंथ 5 मीटर लेंथ अगेंस्ट a smooth vertical wall making an angle 60 degree with it, other end rests at rough horizontal surface, the friction that the floor exert on the rod। यहाँ पे आप इस डायग्राम को देखेंगे, जो नॉर्मल रिएक्शन आ रहा है यहाँ पे वो ऊपर है, और यहाँ पे स्मूथ सरफेस होने की वजह से नीचे की तरफ कोई फोर्स नहीं होता, तो यहाँ हॉरिजॉन्टल फोर्स लगेगा, वो है NB। इसी डायग्राम को मैं थोड़ा ऐसे निकालूंगा, ठीक है। जो ये रॉड है, जो यहाँ नॉर्मल रिएक्शन पड़ रहा है, ठीक है, और यहाँ पे जो है mg नीचे की तरफ एक्ट कर रहा है। तो आपको यहाँ पे n इज इक्वल टू क्या हुआ? mg हुआ, ठीक है। तो तो उसको हम लिख सकते हैं 200 न्यूटन, क्यों 20 kg था और 10 न्यूटन किया तो 200 न्यूटन आ गया। तो आप यहाँ पे देख रहे हो, यहाँ से उसको स्मूथ सरफेस है और यहाँ पे रफ सरफेस, जो हमारा फ्रिक्शन होगा, अगर यहाँ पे जो फ्रिक्शन लेंगे तो फ्रिक्शन किस तरफ होगा, इस तरफ होगा, ये होता है स्मॉल एफ, ठीक है। और उन्होंने एंगल जो दिया है यहाँ पे 60 डिग्री दिया है और यहाँ पे 30 डिग्री दिया है। तो यहाँ पे जो उसका नॉर्मल फोर्स होगा वो हॉरिजॉन्टल होगा। अगर ये यहाँ से नहीं फिसल रहा है, तो मूव नहीं कर रहा है, तो ये जो फोर्स होगा, जो NB होगा, वो NB इज इक्वल टू F होगा। तो आप MB फाइंड आउट करो या तो F फाइंड आउट करो, जो ही आपको फाइनल आंसर आएगा। तो उसको हम लोग यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे, जो यहाँ पे इस फोर्स और इस पॉइंट पे फोर्स लग रहा है, ठीक है, यहाँ पे और इसके वजह से फोर्स लग रहा है, क्या आप यहाँ पे लिख सकते हैं रोटेशनल टॉर्क। रोटेशनल टॉर्क जो होता है वो 0 होता है। हम लोग यहाँ पे मानेंगे ये यहाँ से ऐसे गिर रहा है, यहाँ से ऐसे गिर रहा है, तो हम लोग इसको क्या करेंगे, जो यहाँ पे फॉर्मूला आएगा, यहाँ पे तो जो टॉर्क लगेगा इसको NB, और इसका लेंथ जो है L है, और इसका जो थीटा एंगल है, अपोजिट एंगल sin 30 है, sin 30 विच मस्ट बी इक्वल टू क्या होना चाहिए, और एक फोर्स लग रहा है वो जो है mg है, और mg का इतना एंगल क्या होता है, ये डिस्टेंस क्या हुआ, ये डिस्टेंस जो होता है L/2, तो mg L/2 इंटू L/2, mg L/2, और ये cos 30, cos 30 क्या होता है sin 60, आप cos 30 लिख सकते हो या sin 60 लिख सकते हो, दोनों सेम है, तो cos 30 आ जाएगा आपका एंगल। तो यहां से आप सॉल्व करोगे तो L कैंसिल हो जाएगा, NB आपको कैलकुलेट करना है, sin 30 क्या होता है mg cos 30 sin 30, अगर आप सॉल्व करोगे और मास भी डालोगे, mg 200 है, तो NB क्या होगा आपका cos 30 अपॉन sin 30। तो ये सारे सॉल्व करने के बाद NB जो आएगा 100√3 आपका आंसर आएगा, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट 43 क्वेश्चन, 3 identical heat conducting rods are connected in series as shown in the figure. The rods on the sides have thermal conductivity 2K, जो यहाँ पे 2K, K और 2K ये thermal conductivity है, in the middle has thermal conductivity K. The left end of the combination is maintained at temperature 3T and right end is at T. यहाँ पे उन्होंने जो मेंटेन किया है वो T है, और यहाँ पे जो मेंटेन किया है वो 3T है। Then the rods are thermally insulated from outside. The steady state temperature at the left junction is T1 and at the right junction is T2. जो यहाँ पे ये जंक्शन बना रहे हैं T1 and T2, वो उसका रेशियो मान रहे हैं T1/T2, ठीक है। तो हमारे पास जो क्या है थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी का फॉर्मूला H इज इक्वल टू K इंटू A इंटू डेल्टा T अपॉन L। इस हिसाब से डेल्टा T इज इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू K। हम इस हिसाब से क्या लिख सकते हैं, K1 इज टू K2 इज टू K3 क्या होता है 2:1:2, 2:1:2 हुआ, ठीक है। देन उसका चेंज इन टेम्परेचर क्या होता है, उसका रिवर्स होता है, तो उसका रिवर्स होने से क्या होता है 1:2:1 जो होता है चेंज इन टेम्परेचर। तो हम यहाँ पे कर सकते हैं डेल्टा T1 क्या होता है, डेल्टा T1 होता है 1 टोटल कितना हुआ, यहाँ पे टोटल कितना 2 + 1 + 1 4 हुआ, तो 1/4 इंटू टोटल टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस कितना है 3T - T, वो होता है 2T, तो ये क्या हुआ डेल्टा T1, सो 1/4 इंटू 2 1 2 2 वो होता है T/2। डेल्टा T1 क्या हुआ T/2 हुआ, जो आपको यहाँ पे मिला। और हमें मुझे क्या इसके बीच में जो है जंक्शन में 3T - T1, 3T - T1 देखो यहाँ से 3T - T1 क्या है डेल्टा T1, वो है T/2। सो T1 क्या हुआ यहाँ से इसमें आप T1 कैलकुलेट करोगे तो आपको T1 क्या आएगा 5T/2 आएगा। जैसे आप डेल्टा T3 कैलकुलेट करोगे बिटवीन दीज टू, डेल्टा T1 T2 है, डेल्टा T3 जो है 1/4 इंटू अगेन 2T आएगा, 2K - T - 2, टोटल डिफरेंस कितना है 3T - T 2T होगा, और यहाँ पे जो डिफरेंस है वो भी 1/4 होगा। तो T2 - T करेंगे तो T2 भी क्या आएगा 3T/2, और इनको डिवाइड करोगे तो आपका आंसर जो आएगा T1/T2 5/3। सो 5/3 इज योर ऑप्शन नंबर 4। नेक्स्ट 44th क्वेश्चन, यहाँ पे दो कार है, कार A एंड कार B। कार A का जो एनर्जी है वो 100 जूल्स है, और कार B का जो एनर्जी है काइनेटिक एनर्जी 225 जूल्स है। ऑन द अप्लाइंग ब्रेक्स कार ए और कार बी को फोर्स अप्लाई किया, दैट एफ ए एंड एफ बी, तो कार ए 1000 मीटर जाने के बाद रुक जाएगा, कार बी 1500 मीटर जाने के बाद रुक जाएगा। तो उन्होंने क्या पूछ रहे हैं यहाँ पे, देन रेशियो ऑफ एफ ए बाई एफ बी पूछ रहे हैं। तो यहाँ पे वर्क डन बाय फ्रिक्शन होता है चेंज इन काइनेटिक एनर्जी है, वर्क एनर्जी थ्योरम है आपके पास। सो वर्क डन बाय फ्रिक्शन इज चेंज इन काइनेटिक एनर्जी। सो वर्क डन का फॉर्मूला क्या है यहाँ पे, एफ एस इज इक्वल टू एफ इंटू एस इज इक्वल टू के, एफ एस इज इक्वल टू के। सो फाइनल काइनेटिक एनर्जी जो आएगा वो 0 है, इनिशियल काइनेटिक एनर्जी के है, और एफ एस इज इक्वल टू के। तो यहां से हम लोग लिख सकते हैं एफ ए बाई एफ बी इंटू एस ए बाई एस बी इज इक्वल टू के ए बाई के बी। तो एफ ए बाई एफ बी क्या होगा, एफ ए बाई एफ बी इंटू 1000 अपॉन 1500 इज इक्वल टू 100 बाई 225। अगर इसको आप सॉल्व करोगे तो आपको आंसर आएगा 2/3। तो इस कार से आपको जो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है आपको मिल जाएगा आपका, ठीक है आंसर। जो आंसर है आपका 2/3, 2/3 ऑप्शन नंबर 3। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, लास्ट क्वेश्चन जो ये एसओपीआरएम से है, सिस्टम ऑफ पार्टिकल्स एंड रोटेशनल मोशन से। ऐसा ही एक हमने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किया था डिस्क के वजह से, राइट, डिस्क का सॉल्व किया था हमने, हमारे जो ऑल इंडिया टेस्ट होते हैं उसमें डिस्क का सेम ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन डिस्क का था, यहाँ पे स्फीयर का दिया गया, ठीक है। तो हम लोग पहले स्फीयर का एक्सिस से थ्रू सेंटर पासिंग वो क्या होता है, मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया 2/5 m, टोटल रेडियस कितना है 2r होल स्क्वायर, जो होता है 4 इंटू 2/5 mr स्क्वायर, ये होता है स्फीयर का, ठीक है। बाद में उसमें जो एक छोटा स्फीयर है उसको निकाल देंगे, तो वो जो पार्ट है उसको जो निकाला गया है उसका क्या होता है, मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया कट पार्ट, जो होता है 2/5 mr स्क्वायर प्लस mr स्क्वायर। कैसे है कि हम लोग इस पार्ट का, ये जो 2r है ये इस एक्सिस का 2/5 mr स्क्वायर और इसके सेंटर थ्रू का mr स्क्वायर, ठीक है। तो ये होता है ये कट पार्ट का, तो कट पार्ट का मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया कितना हुआ 7m/40 r स्क्वायर। जो रिमेनिंग पार्ट होता है, जो इसमें रिमूव करने के बाद जो रिमेनिंग पार्ट होता है 8/5 mr स्क्वायर माइनस 7/40 mr स्क्वायर, ठीक है। तो इसका वैल्यू जो आ गया आपको 57/40 mr स्क्वायर, इसका 7/40, इन दोनों को डिवाइड करो तो आपका आंसर आएगा 7/57। तो आंसर है 7/57। थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग, सब्सक्राइब, लाइक, शेयर।